The rain hammered against the windows of my small apartment in Seattle, mirroring the storm raging inside me. I sat hunched over my laptop, the screen illuminating my face with a cold, digital glow. Just hours ago, I was a content, if somewhat weary, 43-year-old mechanic named Barnaby. Now, now I felt like a stranger in my own life, a spectator to a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. It had started innocently enough. A misplaced phone, a forgotten password. My wife, Liesel, a vibrant and ambitious marketing executive, had left her phone at home that morning. I rarely touched her phone, respecting her privacy fiercely. But when it began buzzing insistently with notifications, I glanced at the screen. Lysander was the sender, and the message preview sent a shard of ice through my veins. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Wear that dress I love. Lysander." The name was vaguely familiar, but I couldn't immediately place it. My mind raced, trying to find a logical explanation. A work event, a friend. But the tone of the message, it was undeniably intimate. A seed of suspicion, dark and unwelcome, had been planted. I wrestled with my conscience for what felt like an eternity. Snooping was wrong. Liesel and I had always prided ourselves on our open communication, our unwavering trust. But the message lingered in my mind, a relentless, nagging doubt. Finally, I caved. I knew her password, a combination of our anniversary and our dog's name. I told myself I just needed to see one email, one message, to put my mind at ease. What I found was a torrent, a flood of betrayal that threatened to drown me. Emails, text messages, photos, a meticulously documented affair spanning months. Liesel and Lysander. Lysander, her boss. The messages were filled with longing, passion, and deceit. They painted a picture of a woman I no longer recognized, a woman who had been living a double life right under my nose. The details blurred into a sickening collage of stolen moments, secret rendezvous, and whispered lies. I learned about their lunches together, their late nights working at the office, their weekend getaways disguised as business trips. Each message was a fresh wound, a deeper cut into my already shattered heart. I stumbled away from the laptop, my legs weak and trembling. The room seemed to spin around me, the familiar furniture morphing into menacing shapes. How could she? How could she do this to me? To us, Liesel and I had been together for 15 years. We had built a life together, a home filled with love and laughter. We had weathered storms, supported each other through thick and thin. I had always believed in her, trusted her implicitly. Now everything felt like a lie, a carefully constructed facade designed to mask her infidelity. The front door clicked open and Liesel walked in, her face flushed and smiling. "Hey honey, I'm home," she called out, her voice bright and cheerful. The sound of her voice, once a source of comfort, now felt like a dagger twisting in my gut. I stood frozen in the living room, the laptop screen still displaying the incriminating evidence. She stopped short when she saw me, her smile faltering. "Barnaby, what's wrong?" I didn't say a word. I simply gestured towards the laptop. Her eyes followed my gaze and her face drained of all color. The truth was written all over her, a silent confession that echoed the words on the screen. "Barnaby," she began, her voice trembling. But I cut her off. "Don't," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "Just don't." The next few days were a blur of anger, heartbreak, and disbelief. Liesel tried to explain, to apologize, to salvage what was left of our marriage. She claimed it was a mistake, a moment of weakness, that she still loved me. But her words rang hollow, empty promises that couldn't fill the void of betrayal. I moved out of our house, unable to bear the sight of the rooms we had shared, the memories we had created. I found a small, sparsely furnished apartment downtown, a temporary refuge from the wreckage of my life. I threw myself into my work, spending long hours at the garage, losing myself in the familiar rhythm of wrenches and engines. But even the greasy smell of oil and the roar of machinery couldn't drown out the pain. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I replayed every moment of our relationship in my mind, searching for clues, for signs I had missed. Was I blind? Was I naive? Had I been so focused on my own life that I had failed to see the truth? My friends, sensing my despair, rallied around me. They offered words of comfort, shoulders to cry on, and endless rounds of beer, but nothing seemed to help. The pain was too deep, the wound too raw. One evening, my friend Silas, a gruff but loyal construction worker, came over to my apartment. He found me sitting in the dark, staring blankly at the wall. "Barnaby, you can't keep doing this to yourself," he said, his voice filled with concern. "You gotta get out there, do something. Don't let her ruin your life." His words struck a chord. He was right. I couldn't let Liesel's betrayal define me. I had to find a way to move on, to rebuild my life, to reclaim my happiness. I started small. I joined a gym, began working out regularly. I reconnected with old friends, started pursuing hobbies I had neglected. I even tried online dating, although the thought of trusting another woman felt terrifying. Weeks turned into months. The pain began to subside, replaced by a dull ache, a constant reminder of what I had lost. But I was healing, slowly but surely. I was learning to live again, to find joy in the simple things, to appreciate the beauty of the world around me. Then one day I received a phone call from an unknown number. Hesitantly I answered. "Hello, is this Barnaby?" A female voice asked. "Yes, speaking," I replied. "My name is Gwyneth. I'm Lysander's wife." My heart skipped a beat. Lysander's wife. What could she possibly want? "I know about the affair," she continued, her voice trembling. "Liesel told me everything." I was stunned. Liesel had told her. "Why? I don't understand," I stammered. "Lysander he's been doing this for years," Gwyneth said, her voice breaking. "He's had affairs with multiple women at the company. Liesel was just the latest." I felt a surge of anger, not just at Liesel, but at Lysander. He was a serial cheater, a predator who preyed on vulnerable women, and Liesel had fallen for his lies. "I'm sorry," I said, my voice filled with genuine sympathy. "I had no idea." "I wanted to meet you," Gwyneth continued. "I wanted to apologize for what my husband did. And I wanted to warn you." "Warn me?" I asked, confused. "Lysander he's not a good man," she said. "He's ruthless, ambitious, and he'll do anything to get what he wants. He's been embezzling money from the company, and he's using Liesel to cover his tracks." My blood ran cold. Liesel was involved in something illegal. Was she in danger? "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice rising in panic. "He's been using her position in marketing to funnel money into offshore accounts," Gwyneth explained. "She may not even know what she's doing, but she's implicated. If the authorities find out, she could go to jail." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Liesel had made a terrible mistake, but she didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve to be used and manipulated by Lysander. "I have proof," Gwyneth said. "I have documents, emails, everything. I'm going to the authorities, but I wanted you to know. And I wanted to ask for your help." "My help?" I asked, still reeling from the shock. "I need someone to look after Liesel," she said. "Someone who cares about her, someone who can protect her from Lysander. I know you're angry and you have every right to be. But she needs you now more than ever." I hesitated. Could I forgive Liesel? Could I put aside my anger and resentment to help her? It was a difficult decision, but in the end I knew what I had to do. "I'll do it," I said. "I'll help her." Gwyneth and I worked together, gathering evidence and contacting the authorities. Lysander was arrested and charged with embezzlement and fraud. Liesel, although initially implicated, was eventually cleared of all charges, thanks to Gwyneth's testimony and my support. The experience brought Liesel and me closer, in a strange and unexpected way. We had both been betrayed by Lysander, and we had both suffered the consequences of his actions. We began to talk, to communicate openly and honestly, to rebuild the trust that had been shattered. I don't know what the future holds for Liesel and me. We may never be able to fully recover from the betrayal, but we are willing to try. We are willing to forgive, to learn, and to grow. We are willing to give our love another chance. As the rain continues to fall outside my window, I feel a sense of peace, a sense of hope. The storm inside me has subsided, replaced by a quiet determination to rebuild my life, to find happiness again, and to protect the woman I still love despite everything. This is a story about betrayal, forgiveness, and the enduring power of love. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a new beginning. Remember, even when trust is broken, the possibility of rebuilding remains. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve happiness, no matter what challenges you face.